Faith and fear.
It never stops.
They can't blend. It's like oil and water. Faith and fear can't live in the same house. It don't work. Either you trust or you don't. Ain't no almost faith. It's either faith or fear. He didn't create us. Matter of fact, the Bible even says God did not give us the spirit of fear. That don't even come from heaven. Come on. Jesus.
Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
I trust in him.
I trust him.
I trust in him.
I trust him.
How many feel good this morning?
Oh, y'all.
Wait, that don't sound like y'all real.
How many of you grateful to be alive this morning? Let me hear you. Come on, man. You make it a little better than that. Wake you up this morning. I'm telling you.
All right. They're gonna make us work this morning, Pastor.
They're gonna make us work a
I
little
need
too much.
everybody to get out your seat. Just stand up for a second.
I know y'all in these comfortable things.
Just stand up for a little bit, and if you don't know, you tag team. So it's another tag team moment this morning here at 3D Church. But if you can and if you will, just turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, he didn't create you to work. He didn't create you to work. He didn't create you to fear.
He didn't create you to fear.
He created you to walk in the thing that he told you to. Say, I trust him.
I trust him.
And if you real low, say, neighbor, I dare you to believe in him.
I dare you to believe
I
him.
dare you to trust him.
I dare you to
Y'all
trust
know how we working hard this morning.
him. I dare you to trust him.
Just hug your neighbor and say, blessed to see you, blessed
Let's
to
see.
see you.
While you standing, we're going to go right to this word. We won't be before you long today. We are starting a new series this morning for the December spirit of Christmas. Okay. So here we are. Turn with me in the book. The book of Matthew. I didn't put it in here, did I? 25. Matthew 25. Matthew 25. It should be on the screen. Okay, absolutely. Matthew 25, starting at verse 15. And here we go. It's going to be a decent amount of reading, so you don't have to read along, but just read along. You don't have to speak along. To one, he gave 5 bags of gold. This is the parable of the talents, as many of you may have already read. So this is Jesus Christ talking to himself. To one, he gave 5 bags of gold. To another 2 bags, and another 1 bag, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. He made an investment. Somebody say he made an investment.
He made an investment.
He made an investment. So also the one with 2 bags of gold, he gained 2 more. So he made another investment too and made 100% profit. Verse 18 says, but the man who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his money. Hid his master's money. His master's money. We'll get back to that in a minute. It ain't his money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The master who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come share your master's happiness. Verse 22 says, the man with 2 bags of gold also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I've gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Verse 24 reads, the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvested where you have not sown and gathered where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid. Somebody say he was scared.
He was scared.
He was scared. He was scared. And went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. Now, the master didn't lose anything. He just didn't gain anything. There was no value added. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. Woo! So you know that I harvest where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well, then you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I return, I would have received it back with interest. Look at somebody next to you as you find your seat and say, open the gift.
Open the
Open
gift.
the gift. Open the
I
gift. You may be
receive
seated
that.
in the sight of God. You may be seated in the sight of God today. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Come on, pulpit etiquette, MIT, wherever you all are today. Here we are, work the gift, or open the gift, open the gift, open the gift. So we're coming into the Christmas season, and we're getting ready to open presents. Many Secret Santas at work are going to be taking place, and kids are going to be excited about receiving gifts. And you all will be getting some gifts, and you're going to open some surprise gifts. And I am just excited about Christmas because it's my favorite time of year. It's the most one. Yeah, I think I said that in the song. It's my favorite time. It's my favorite time. My little moment. That's all I can put in the song. I ain't got all the real singers on the track. But I said, you know, it's funny because when we think about gifts, we don't think that the value of something somebody gave you only to for it to belong to you. And they gave it to you to add value to you. They cared enough about you to add value to your life. What the master did in this scripture was he gave them a talent, which is 5 bags of gold, educational.
Oh, it's each talent represents 4 years worth of salary.
Yeah.
So one talent is 4 years of your salary. And back then that was an astronomical amount. Mm-hmm. That would equivalent to about $500,000. Just one talent.
I receive that.
It's $500,000.
I'm gonna say, Master, make me rich.
Right. So the master was already rich.
So what he did was he added value to them by entrusting them. The only way to the next level is somebody above you entrust you to carry something. Come on, somebody.
I receive that.
That's why you got to show yourself trustworthy. That's why relationships are important. You can't burn bridges. You can't break relationships. You can't talk bad about people behind their back. You got to keep your mouth off people because you never know who God is raising up. The Bible says God is raising up somebody somewhere to be a blessing unto you. So the master was already elevated. He just said, I see servants here that want to be elevated. Let me make an investment. Let me see what they do with an investment. All right, so
he said, basically, he looked on them and said, let me be a blessing to somebody else since God has been a blessing to me. So this parable really was representing Jesus in the story, because before then, the disciples asked Jesus, man, when are you going and when are you coming back? So he gave them the parable of the maidservants and the lamp, and basically that parable, we'll get through it during this series. But the next parable is this one, when he's basically saying, you need to learn how to do what you need to do before I even get here.
Amen.
So he entrusted the servants with the gift because he was already blessed. A lot of times we can miss our blessing because we don't understand the people that are really around us. We don't trust the God in them enough, or sometimes they don't trust the God in us enough to trust us with the gift that God has given us. You ever see somebody that don't want to really trust the gift that God has given you, but they continue to try to suppress you down, or continue to try to make you beneath them, or continue to try to talk above you because they really don't understand the gift that God has placed inside of you? This servant, this master, actually saw something in his servants. That means they had to exemplify something to their master to say, Master, trust him.
Man, this ain't even in the notes, but it is a precious commodity to find a leader that is willing to invest in you. I'm not tooting my own horn, but every singer in this church, I love y'all. Because I made an investment in my singers, man. I'm not a leader that wants to suppress anybody's dream. I want everybody to fly in this church. I want everybody to see greatness in this church. Because if you elevate it, guess what? I'm elevated. Why clip your wings off, leader? I'm talking to the leader in here. Why clip off your wings when that bird ready to fly? You got to let your wings extend. This master saw the value in elevation. This master saw the value of investing in his servers.
Check this out.
Y'all not my servers.
American statistics is, if you're ever trying to do marketing, America teaches business owners to never invest in a person. They teach you to always invest in a thing. That's why you see people that have organizations and different things of that sort. The world is even teaching us not to invest in the gift that God has put inside of you. So therefore, we're breeding leaders that don't even want to invest in the gift that's inside of you. They would rather put it to a cause than to put it to the gift. So seeing a leader that will actually invest in the gift that's inside of you, that's a rare commodity. That's a rare thing, because even in church, They would rather invest in the thing than to invest in the gift.
Amen.
First point, let's get it. We up in here now. We didn't mean to say all that, it just kind of happened. Point number one, work the gift. Somebody say work the gift.
Work the gift.
The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. First thing this parable teaches us is that success is a product of our work. Anybody that wants to see success but not willing to work is missing it. You're not seeing the value of work. Work is how you get that. As a matter of fact, a scripture everybody want to quote is faith without works is faith without work is dead. So in order to see action come from your faith, you've got to work your faith. You can't just say I believe and don't do anything. For instance, he put a seed in the ground. How many of y'all know that seed sown does not always mean seeds grown? Come on. He put his talent in the ground, not saying that it was a literal seed, but it was a seed given to him. He put it in the ground and nothing happened because he didn't work it. Sometimes when God gives you a vision, you have to work what he gave you. When he gives you a talent, you have to put it to work to make way for you. Matter of fact, how many of you know the Bible says your gifts will make room for you? Come on, somebody. Doors will open for you because you work your gift. You work your craft. You work your vision. The thing God has given you, you put it into work. Somebody say work.
The problem was he put the wrong seed in the wrong ground.
That's right.
That seed was not meant to be buried in the ground. Woo! Yeah. Sometimes, check this out. My daughter had you remember what she had? She had the seed, the teachers had gave her a seed peppermint project, right? Yeah. Seeds only grow in certain conditions depending on what type of plant it is. So a lot of times, maybe we are planting our seed in the wrong climate. Maybe we're planting our seed in the wrong ground. You have to make sure that when you plant your seed, it's in fertile ground.
I receive that.
So it wasn't a problem, like Pastor said. Seeds sown don't always mean seeds grown.
That's right.
His problem was he planted the wrong seed in the wrong ground. That seed was not meant to go into the ground.
Come on here.
That's it.
Y'all not getting it. That seed was not meant to go into the ground with pollination and all this stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm an educator. The bees don't put their seeds in the ground.
No, they don't.
If they did, it would be buried. And guess what? Nothing would grow. We want to have flowers blooming and things of that sort. Every seed is not meant to be planted in that particular ground.
Come on now.
Yeah, man.
So when God gives us a gift, we have to be knowledgeable of fertile ground. What's fertile ground?
The next thing is he hid it in the ground because he was afraid. He was afraid of what? He was afraid of what? What was he afraid? He was afraid of failing. He told his master, I'm afraid of failing. So I just buried it. I'll wait on you to get back. Here it is. And you didn't lose nothing. You didn't gain nothing. But you got what he was afraid. My question to you is, are you afraid? Isn't that many of us have talents in our life? God has gifted us with so much, but we're afraid of failing that we don't work them. I'm going to ask the people a question. Are we so afraid of success and that we don't get started either? There's some people that are afraid of succeeding. I had a brother come to me this week. He said, Pastor, I'm afraid of being rich. I said, I rebuke that right now in the name of Jesus. The Lord make it rich and add of no sorrow, baby. I want all mine. God, where my bank account going to be at? I need multiple bank accounts because FDIC can't assure what I'm about to get. But I'm just saying, but that brother was serious. He was like, I'm afraid of success, man, because and I understood it, because the more power you gain, the more you get, the more you have responsibility. Matter of fact, it says, to whom much is given, much is required. So that brother was afraid of his requirements and not his success. Well, I'm telling you today, any of you that have dreams that you think might not work, you're scared to put the money into it, you're scared to invest the time into it, you're scared to walk away from something, you're scared to walk away from somebody, you're scared to walk from under somebody else's oppression because they pay your bills. I'm talking to somebody today that is afraid to move because you're afraid of success. Man, we got to begin to start planting the seed in the ground that God gave us, pollinating the air when God calls us to move. We got to start speaking into the air the things we believe God said to us so that it can fertilize our vision. Come on, somebody. It's our job to begin to invest in ourselves. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That's what I'm saying to you.
It's our job to do what?
Invest in ourselves.
Because some of us are buried our dreams, just like this dude buried what his master gave him. Some of us are buried it in the ground, and anytime I've seen something in the ground, it's considered to be dead. Wake that thing back up and say, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.